welcome back. Thanks for clicking on the video. And we all sure do appreciate your visits to the Shire. Today is Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is. It's Monday. Did not pick the camera up yesterday at all. I don't think I did. Yesterday was a bit of a crappy day around the Shire. You probably saw in the last video, we talked about the house pet, the cat that wasn't doing so well. Yeah, we had to have him euthanized yesterday. Yeah, it's kind of sad. He was a bit of a cantankerous little git, but he'd wormed his way into our hearts, and he particularly was Mrs. Piper Doug's little buddy, so yeah, crappy, just kind of crappy. So yeah, I just didn't pick the camera up. Needless to say, between heading over to Verdon to see the vet and then get the bad news, and then trying to get chores done, because as you saw in the last video, we had a pile of snow before that, so we've been plowing out and did a lot of feeding, and so now we're going to be doing a whole lot of bedding. But what I want to do before I go tackle the big field is I want to open up the road out in the hayfield again. We don't have snow in the forecast for a while, so at least if I get this opened up, it's ready to go. I'm going to get the straw field opened up for now, just with the bucket, enough to get a couple of loads of straw in so I can get bedding caught up, and then get back to getting all the hay in off the field done, and then I can just concentrate on getting the wheat straw off the field once this new piece of hardware comes, which should help get the process done. So we're going to get about our day. I'm going to go and do some plowing. I don't know if I'll bring you along for that or not. I see we have a plow straight ahead of us, but that's the neighboring municipality's plow. So they stop right there, that tree line, and turn around. So he's not coming this way because our Ross has already done our roads. Yay, Ross! Okay, let's go plow. Oh yeah, and for those of you who are undoubtedly asking, or have asked, why am I not using the big blade? Because if you look at that snowpack and how much is there, trying to push that big 10-foot blade through all of this tractor, A, does not have the horsepower, and B, does not have the weight to have traction. Because yes, I can stick it in a low enough gear and still be moving, but this thing would just sit and spin. Because when I get into those hollows, like back there just a ways, yeah, I was spinning. I got stuck. I had to shovel my way out to clear enough so I could keep carving a track. So That's why I'm not using the big blade. I'm going to be putting on the greater blade here soon, hopefully. But right now, between feeding and bedding, it's just quicker to use the bucket. Anyway, I won't bore you with any more of this. Well, I'll tell you, it's funny watching other ranching YouTubers from other parts of the world, whether it be in the southern states or in Europe, and you get some people doing like, oh my gosh, it's snowing, it's so pretty, it's so lovely. Believe you me, it wears off on you. It does. So, yeah, I plowed my way into, this is number 2 paddock, and it's called Tree Field. As you can no doubt see, we planted a whole bunch of trees, which I know most people would be like, why would you do that with prime agricultural cropland? Well, see my previous videos for why. And the funny part is, I can actually answer that very quickly. Sorry, I need to point you where I'm looking. Trying to get the center of the load. So what you're looking at here, if you look at how much snow is sitting here that I've had to deal with, and for those of you who have been around since last fall, will know that this field, the majority of this field was flat to the ground. So Peter Hamilton, our renters from Ireland, well, they live here, they shaved the ground with their combine. Look at that. Like 6 inches is about as tall as the stubble gets here. That is it. There is some spots where the straw stood back up, but not very often. Outside of that, this was shaved to the ground. But you look at how much snow is out here, and I would equate it mostly to the trees and some of it to the bales, creating these finger drifts. But for the most part, you get these trees that will drop a massive amount of snow behind them, and it creates a knock-on effect all the way across the paddock. That's why we measured them out at 1/4 mile intervals, because it's actually no, 1/8 of a mile. It's a 1/2 mile wide field by a mile long, as you can see way in the distance. Hello over there, because we're near the bottom. So being 1/2 a mile, this shelter belt here, which is halfway across the field, is at the 1/4 mile mark. So 1/8 a mile every tree row, and that works out to be good for equipment, and it's also enough so that the wind will always stay up above and drop the snow and keep the blasting hot air during the growing season up off the crop. So yeah, like I said, you look at how much snow is sitting out here that did not blow away through all the blowing storms we had. That shows you. Anyway, I blabbed on too long, and I cannot get through these snow drifts one-handed and pick up bales, so we'll see you on the other side. Orange tractor in the shop and warming up. Here's hoping tonight we'll get that seat mounted. This guy's waiting to go inside to get thawed out. And if you can see that, she's a full moon, folks. And if you can hear this beyond the cat in the workshop, almost sounds like they've been weaning next door. That's a racket. It's a lot of cows very upset. Anyway. Okay. Supper time. Well, are you gonna give a hand or what are you gonna do? No? Okay. Oh, we're making a mess. Oh, we're making a heck of a mess. So, yeah, it's hard to make this out if you can, but because this is so worn out, the seat is no longer sitting flat. It's actually tilted forward quite badly. But I haven't undone the bottom bolts yet. I just undid the bolts that hold the runner on. But that's where my constant getting my back wrecked is this. All of the connections are so badly hollowed out. They're just absolutely done. And the dampers, as you can see, the dampers are shot because they're damp, the seals are out. The dampers are damp. So I'm gonna pull the 4 bolts out the bottom plate, disconnect the air seat stuff. There's a plug over there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the whole rig out and I'm gonna use this to transfer the bolt holes straight to my seat frame. And then, fingers crossed, she just goes back together as it came out. Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah, that's what someone said to me. Well, you just get one of those truck seats. Yeah, just order one of them big fancy nice truck seats. You all see the problem here, right? It's got a power armrest. So, yeah. Basically all I can do is, I'm going to replace this, and if I can find a whole power seat assembly, which I imagine costs a lot of money, or I'm just going to have the seat upholstered. I know you could probably buy an actual air seat frame, which we might end up doing if we can find one. But for now, to save me and save my sanity and the squeaking, and you find people out in the YouTube land, save your sanity as well. Squeaky, 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 squeaky. Okay, well, I'm going to pull this out and we'll get going. Whoo! Well, it's safe to say, I can kind of tell you why the seat is gooned. So this is the front of the seat. So yeah, it sits like that. And here's the other one. So yeah, I don't know whether it's a bad seat design or the previous owner was a very large person. I'm not a small person by any means, but it's not like I weigh 400 pounds. But then again, 12,000 hours and a lot of bouncing, that'll do something like this. So yeah. So the mounts at the back are bad as well, but not as bad as that. Like they're probably a 1/4 of an inch play back and forward. So yeah, I'm taking this plate off so I can transfer the top holes. I've got the bottom holes already pre-drilled. So Toothless is just inspecting the job. So yeah, you can see where it's been riding right on the seat pan because the bolts were completely, where is it? Yeah. Where's your problem? That's right. You don't know nothing. It's sitting there. And now that's sitting there. Solid. So, as far as I can go by, the holes all lined up. Now it's just to see whether these holes lined up. Stay tuned. Oh, my gosh. Well, there you have her, folks. Piper Doug proof seat. Now, I gotta get new door rams for this thing. If I told you all that those 8 bolt holes from 2 separate frames all lined up the first time, would you believe me? Well, they did. I know. I was shocked too. Yeah. The bottom ones, tickety-boo. They were pretty straightforward. The upper ones, because that bracket was well, it's that shape. I just had to sort of tilt it up to get the bolt started and threaded, and it was just wide enough. I made the holes about a 100th bigger than they needed to be. She's in there and she does not squeak, bounce, rattle. There is a little bit of a squeak in the chair, but it's not the squeak that you're all become accustomed to, so. Yeah. You have no idea what is going on, do you? Oh gosh, anyway, I'm gonna get wrapping up here. I'm away, you little beggar, ye. Okay, well that's a good job to get off. Now, he can come out and the old guy can come in. Tomorrow. I might grease the loader pins tomorrow. I haven't done them in a while. Good thinking, everybody. Thanks for reminding me. You're no help whatsoever. Lack of opposable thumbs. Honest to gosh, I don't know why I hired you in the first place. Can't get good help these days. Oh, she's cold, folks. She's a bit chilly. Little bit chilly. Woo, woo, woo. Well, you all say a little prayer for Mrs. Piper Doug. She's heading back to work tomorrow, the first time this year. She's still not fully mended, but she's been putting it off not too long. She's been putting it off long enough. In her mind, I've told her she needs to cancel all of her stuff until she hears from the doctor, but if any of you know Mrs. Piper Doug or know what she does, you know that she feels the call of her jobs. So yeah, I'm gonna go plug this guy in and get inside for snack in bed. Oh, well, that's a good job to get off the list, folks. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of Piper Doug. It's almost at 1,000 subscribers. Crazy. Teddy bye, everybody.